Welcome to the Backporch Top Podcast. I'm your coach, Jason.
Goes Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today. A little NBA, a little NFL. But first, Danny, right into Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, and where the San Antonio Spurs shocked the world, but not us. The Spurs ends the Thunder streak, 111-103, and where those San Antonio Spurs advances to the NBA championship round against the New York Knicks, where the final starts on Wednesday. Danny, this game had it all. Victor Wembanyama, man, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. But I think it was his will, his tenacity, his grit, his grind that transferred to the rest of the San Antonio Spurs teammates. Even the veterans got involved. I mean, this was a game worth the wills. And man, San Antonio and this young crew have advanced. I'm looking forward to the finals. Just as Victor had 22 points, you got to give Shea some credit here. 35 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. 12 for 21 from the field, 9 for 11 from the free throw line. He put it all out there. It wasn't enough because the second All-Star, Chet Holmgren, only had 4 points. But it wasn't just about the 4 points, Danny, in my opinion. It was about the 2 field goals that he attempted. And that's troublesome. 4 rebounds, 33 minutes, only 2 fouls. So I don't know why the 33 minutes, in my opinion. But this game 7, man, this is to me a 40-plus minute game.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't in foul trouble. I don't know. Hartenstein had more points than you did in 21 minutes. 7 points. He had 7 field goals attempts. Had the same number of personal fouls. So Alex Caruso, 3 for 14 from the field, 12 points. Someone had to shoot. It couldn't just have been Shea out there. Casey Wallace, 17 points, 10 field goals. But let me go back to the winners, man. Let me go back to the Spurs. Stephon Castle, 16 points, 7 15, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He also had 6 turnovers. I think that's going to be a key factor going into these finals. Darian Fox, 15 points, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers, 3 steals. That's going to be a factor. We'll get into that later on. But Danny, these San Antonio Spurs, they go ahead and do it. What say you about this game 7?
Up and down, man. The Spurs got out to a fast start. They're up 14. OKC actually took the lead back before half, and then the Spurs went on that run before halftime, which I thought was key because they ended up, I think they went up 3 at half. You got to look at, man, like Champagnie from the Spurs. He has some huge three-pointers. And I mean, it wasn't like he had time to set. He was like catch and shoot pop.
Yeah, it was, man. It was
And
beautiful.
I think that was understated in this game. The shot he had some huge shots for them where they needed those from a momentum standpoint. Dylan Harper hit some huge shots. Man, calm down, Stephen Castle from getting a technical. Yeah, Wemby had some huge dunks. I think he took Chet's soul at the beginning of the game. That
Man, did he?
and I think that truly rattled Chet, where he was like, I mean, he was wide open in that game multiple times. He wouldn't even look at the basket.
Look at the basket at all.
So I'm curious once, the dust settles and the finals are done and you get in the summertime, if there's an interview with him just to understand his psyche. We may not ever know, but for him to be the second best player on that team with Jay Will out, AJ being out, he had to step up and he had to play 40 some minutes and it he just didn't show up. So it was in Caruso. I'll tell you one thing, man. I know Caruso put up a lot of shots, but he
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of good looks. They just weren't falling. Those were the shots. If you remember in game 1,
Mm-hmm.
those are the shots he was hitting when he had that 31-point game
Mm-hmm.
because he still had good looks. And then also that key play where Cornette blocked Hartenstein
Oh,
on the break in the fourth quarter, where
yeah,
OKC start coming back.
yep.
Because San Antonio, they were trying to give that game away at the
They
end.
were at that point in time too. I was like, "Come on, man, what are
They were
y'all
trying their
doing?"
best to lose that game. I'm
The
like,
block happened, and I was like,
yes,
"Oh, this is gonna get them going again."
yes. SGA hit some of those shots he made that in that game. I was like, wow. I mean, just straight up swish. But I
Now,
think he took a bad three with like less than a minute left. They're down
mhm.
six, where I thought he was going to take it to the basket and try to draw a foul. He took a fadeaway three. It was a bad, he just wasn't, his feet weren't set. He just fired it up and he missed. And they ended up, losing the game. But if they get a 3-point play and they're down three, you never know because it was getting kind of dicey for San Antonio. So, because OKC had a ton of offensive rebounds in that last minute too. Great game, I will tell you, because those games kind of up and down after that game one, which was like one of the best games ever. And you hear expectation levels like up here, and it was kind of like up and down. But that game seven, man, you couldn't have had a better game. And congratulations to the Spurs, man. Now we get to see what happens on Wednesday night.
And Danny, let me just say this about the Spurs, man, and what you just said. Defensively, the Spurs were really in the OKC draws, man. Just as I give Shea a lot of grief with regards to the flapping, baiting of the calls, all that stuff. From what I saw in Game Seven, he stood his ground for a good portion of it. I mean, still a couple of baits here and there, but I mean, I think he realized that this is Game Seven, man, and I think he also realized Chet didn't have it going early.
Yep.
He was trying to figure out who's gonna come with me at this juncture, man, because this Game Seven. I think what this Game Seven in series prove, there's going to be a trade in the summer by the OKC Thunder, and I get that Jay Will. I get that he wasn't playing. There was another, body there that wasn't playing, a valuable piece that wasn't playing, but that happens. I'm pretty certain that throughout the course of the season he wasn't there, of course, because of the hamstring, and you all were winning games against whomever. This Game Seven, and this probably was the last good time to get to the finals with Wemby or against Wemby, because what I see out of this San Antonio Spurs young nucleus are multiple runs. It can be harder and harder for the teams to really advance to the conference finals moving forward. And so, Danny, I say this to say the Milwaukee Bucks really benefited from this loss, man, of the OKC Thunder. The Milwaukee Bucks organization, Giannis, has benefited. The trade value has skyrocketed to a point in where, look, man, if the Milwaukee Bucks don't get at least two good players from the OKC Thunder, and I'm talking about at least two first round picks from the OKC Thunder, at least two first round picks. I'm almost want to say at least three first round picks,
That was my yeah.
at least,
Mm-hmm.
because what this has proved is that Wemby has put the NBA on notice. This young nucleus is strong. You don't think Castle isn't going to learn from his turnover mistakes over the summer? You don't think
Yep.
Darian Fox, who didn't play in a couple of games in the series,
Yep.
not going to learn from this? Wemby has put the NBA on notice. And if there's ever a time to get Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs, it is right now. Because these next few years, I don't see it happening. Not only that, but think about this. This young nucleus is still under their NBA rookie contract for
Mm-hmm.
at least another couple of years. Wemby got, this is his, third year in the league?
Yep.
Third year in the league. So he got, one more year? They're going to pay Wemby, but you still got others on a rookie deal. This is the New York Knicks chance to help save the NBA, man. Because this young nucleus in Wemby, like if I was the owner of the San Antonio Spurs, I would go over the luxury cap when it's time. Keep
Mm-hmm.
this young nucleus together, man. I don't think they're going to be greedy. I think they're going to go for these championships. What say you, Danny?
Yeah, Jason, I agree, man. You knew that was the rumor that was going to come out as soon as OKC lost was Giannis. The thing is, though, Giannis commands a huge salary, and any team that's going to deal with the Bucks, if they're trading players, have to have that kind. If they don't have the space, because OKC is right by that apron, so there's a lot of concerns and a lot of maneuvering based on if that were to happen. But they just gotta look at too. You don't want to overreact, but certain things were put on display in this type of moment that, and it could be a Chet Wemby thing, but that's a problem because Wemby and Chet are gonna be in the same conference from
Mm-hmm.
here on out.
Mm-hmm.
That OKC has some decisions to make, and I definitely think they'll make a move or two uh, as far as adjusting the team. But with AJ Mitchell being out, I think that was huge too, man. With Jay Will being out was big, but having both AJ Mitchell and him out, they lost that scoring punch that, could have offset some of that Shea, gave Shea a little relief. Like Case and Wallace and those dudes were, trying to help him as much as they could. They hit some big shots.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I agree with you, man, from the Bucks standpoint, because now the OKC is in play. The price is going to drive up because they have all those picks
Yeah,
along with
absolutely.
players that they can offer if they're interested in Giannis. But are they truly interested in Giannis, or are they going to do something else?
I think they're going to be interested in Giannis. Here's the reason why. I was going to ask you a question, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
After Wemby dunked on Chet, just imagine Wemby dunking on Giannis. You don't think Giannis not going to try to go back at him?
Of course, he's going to feel some type of way.
That's the major difference.
Yep.
That's the major difference. That's what I'm paying multi-millions of dollars for because at this
Mm-hmm.
juncture, if I'm trying to get to the championship round,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back at you, some form of fashion.
Yes.
And I think this is going to potentially make Giannis better. Here's the reason why. Giannis going to have to really develop that mid-range jumper.
Mm-hmm.
No longer, I mean, forget the three, no longer, shooting, just, taking it inside because you got Wemby now. He's taller, lankier. I mean, you're really going to have to develop some kind of option one, option two, option three of your moves.
Mm-hmm.
And Wemby's going to force you to do that. So this is going to be real interesting, Danny. And the NBA is so high on nicknames and everything. I cannot stand the nickname Alien for Wemby. Certain connotations to it,
Yep.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking throughout that over the weekend, and then I saw the doggone Nike commercial. If you all haven't seen this Nike commercial of Wemby, go out and check it out. They infused Alien into it. I'll just put it
Mm-hmm.
like that. Wemby is something special. I remember asking my dad this. I was like, Dad, have you ever seen anybody like Wemby? Is Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, was he like that back then? Granted, there's no social media or anything of that sort right now, but or back then, but
Mm-hmm.
does this remind you of Lou Alcindor? He was like, yeah, it does remind him of that. So what we're witnessing is something that comes into the league every so often. We'll see, Danny. We'll see. What are your predictions for early predictions of the NBA Finals here? New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs.
Jason, this is tough because San Antonio coming off this tough series. They got a couple days rest before they play the Knicks. The Knicks have been off forever. It seems like they haven't played in over a week and a half. It'll be a week and a half, 10 days or whatever once they play on Wednesday. So Is San Antonio trying to, with this OKC series, will they have enough juice to hang with the Knicks? And the Knicks actually played the Spurs well this year. Looking at this, I would say the Spurs, based on how they played on Saturday night, would have the edge, and they're at home. They have the home court advantage. And then you got the Knicks, who seem like they're on a path for destiny on how they're playing. But I'm just worried about the Spurs. They kind of show some flashes of running out of gas in this OKC series. Will they have enough? But I think one advantage they do have is they're young. So they can bounce back versus a veteran crew or veteran teams.
I'm going to say this, Danny. To your point about Spurs and the gas, I think, again, the NBA really needs to take a look at this schedule. I really think with the Knicks, with the schedule, they're going to have to really look at this. The NBA is every other day for the conference finals. They need to put maybe a day buffer in there. Like we said, maybe in between game 2 and 3 when there's travel or the switching of the venues and cities. But you need to do something there. This is going to be a good series, man. I think this is going to go 7. I really do. I really believe this is going to go 7. And I was trying to see the schedule here, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and then it goes to Monday. So that's the extra day.
Yep.
To the travel day. Then it goes Monday, Wednesday, and then it goes Saturday if needed. That's what I think the NBA should have done in a sense for the conference finals. But then right into some interesting news here in the NFL with a couple of potential trades here. One being that of Myles Garrett, man, being traded to the LA Rams. Browns trading Garrett to the Rams, man. You kidding me? This is major.
Yes.
2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He goes to the Rams for Jared Verse and multiple draft picks. What say you, Danny?
Man, was the Rams GM say F them picks? This came out of nowhere. Everyone's been talking about AJ Brown, which we'll talk about in a sec. But to pull Myles Garrett after they got McDuffie from the Chiefs, with that pick, he sent the first rounder over to the Chiefs for that. So they bolstered up that defense and they're ready to make a run. Verse, man, that's a tough player to lose, though. I'm like, Myles Garrett is all-time great, but Verse, man, he was on a trajectory that's tough to see him go. They're taking a big swing, major swing, and they're going for it this year for the Super Bowl. And this does not bode well for the division with Seattle, San Francisco, and Arizona. You guys see Myles Garrett twice a year.
And then A.J. Brown goes to the New England Patriots in his trade. We saw that one coming pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be interesting. I'm glad that this train wreck is over with between A.J. Brown and the Eagles. Looking forward to seeing what happens here moving forward. But it seems like 2 picks are going to the Eagles. What say you, Danny?
You knew it was happening. It was just a matter of when. And I was just curious if it was going to be somebody else besides the Patriots. I just knew A.J. Brown, all the speculation over the offseason and how things ended in Philly. It's a shame, man, because he had a nice thing going with the Eagles. And I'm curious on the differences, if it was Jalen Hurts, if it was the organization, a combination of both. But just to see him go out, like that, it's tough, man. But he gets a new opportunity here with New England. I'm curious how this will play out with a younger Drake May. And Drake May also gets Romeo Dobbs. So they're going to have a very dynamic and animated locker room where cats want the ball. So how does Drake May, as a young quarterback, manage this? And will it be with a tougher schedule also this year? So there's a lot of things going here where great move for New England.
Thank you for joining us at That Porch Talk podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.